All right, OJs. So this week we are going to go through some turkey stuff. I'm going to show you my vest, show you the gun, or show you the ammunition that I use, show you some of the calls that I use, decoys, and things of that nature. Because turkey is the third favorite season of mine when we talk about hunting. You know, first is obviously deer. The second season is dove in September, you know, mainly because I like it when my dad calls me and says after dove season's over to come on over because he's cooking up some of them scrumptious little dove breasts, sweet wrapped in bacon with some jalapenos, and said, "If you have any more, Dad, I'm ready for some." Anyway, you know how to get a hold of me. And then turkey is my third favorite hunting season. So just the fact of being able to call out, having them call back to you and the like. So it's fantastic. Again, let me show you everything that I have here going on, show you what I use, what I do. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be different. Leave any notes or anything in the comment section. And of course, if you like the video and you want to support what I'm doing here and things and me can be able to continue on with this channel, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers I have, the better off I can be able to assist and continue this channel going. And so you don't miss an episode, hit that bell for me. So we'll be right back. So let's talk about turkey. So the biggest thing for turkey is they have great sight, they have great hearing. So you can smell however you want, I guess, but the best thing to do is have a vest that can carry everything and have a couple of calls. So spring turkey season is very much all about attracting a mate, getting that tom or that male turkey close enough to take a shot. Most people use shotguns. A couple of people use like 223s or 22 longs or something like that for it. But nevertheless, I'm getting prepped, getting set up for turkey season this year. So I just wanted to go through everything I need. This gives me time to go through and make sure everything is kosher, plenty of time before April, I think it's 29th here in Texas, to hunt. One of the things is you need to check your local rules and regulations and make sure you are abiding by your Department of Natural Resources. Here it's Texas Parks and Wildlife. Sometimes Hunter Orange and things of that nature needs to be wore here in Texas. We don't have any of that. So let's start off. I'm going to get the cameras prepped to show you what I have here, and we'll get started. All right, so let's start with the vest. One of the most important parts of the vest is plenty of pockets. This one here, we'll start on the back side. So this one here has a seat cushion that by clicking here and clicking here, it with the Velcro, it folds down. So I don't know if you guys can see that, I use this here mainly for keeping my bottom dry in the morning in the dew and things of that nature. Because remember, it's early April, at least here in Texas, it's early April, and the dew and things of that nature is going to be prominent. The other thing they have here is, this is a nice hole here. This is where you would put the turkey in after you shoot. It would allow you to carry it. I actually carry my decoys in that pocket, and then there's plenty of room in there once, if I shoot anything, to have my decoys and the turkey in there. Let's flip it around to the front of the vest. Want plenty of pockets. So one thing after you shoot, because you're going to have feathers and things coming out of this backside here. So one of the things to make sure of is safety orange. So this vest actually has safety orange. You pull out and flip it down. and that prevents any accidents as you're walking back to camp. So this is very important. Safety. I could honestly tell you, I think I got this at Bass Pro probably over 10 years ago. So can't really link it into the description. My opinion would be to go to your local sporting goods store, try them on, see what they have. I will give you this one's brand name here in just a moment. But I do know this one is probably 10 years old. So it was just a good one, bought it, it lasted, even from the time that I have grown, so to speak, due to eating the turkeys. So pockets are one of the most important parts of this, and most turkey vests have dedicated pockets. So this pocket here would be slated for your turkey call or your box call. I put chalk in my mouth call into this pocket here. Here are my slate calls, 2 round pockets for that. This one here actually has a space in this pocket to put your ammunition in. So that's nice that you can carry some extra. It's got some odd and end just catch-all pockets down here in the bottom. And then here is just another catch-all. I usually put the strikers for my slate calls in that one there. So I'm gonna move this aside. I'll go through the different parts and pieces that I have, and then we'll stick it all into the vest. Brand name is a Whitewater Strategic Hunting Apparel. Patent's apparently pending. Let's start with what I use most, which is a box call. So one of the things I use most, this would be your long range call. So it has a rubber band and a box, because there's the box, and you put chalk, and chalk rubs against this to make the call. I do carry some extra chalk with me. It says it's camo chalk from HS Strut. I think this chalk is the only chalk I've ever bought in my life. You just take a stick of chalk. You can see where I wore this piece down. Color it in just like you're 10 years old again. Maybe 2 years old again, depending on, my parents never let me play around with chalk like that, mainly because chalk wouldn't draw on the grass in the front yard. So, the chalk, and then it makes the other thing that you can do with a box call is you have it here. The other thing, if you notice with the rubber band, it doesn't make any noise. So these are the different parts and pieces for the box call. This is a long range call. This call, and they come in different sizes. This is a moderate sized one. I've seen some as long as this. I've seen some smaller ones, but this is my primary call. I mean, this is what I use until I can physically see them. Once I physically see them, I'll adjust my tactics, but this is the call that I use until I can make a visual of the turkeys. So then you can go to a slate call. Now, I haven't used these slate calls, and for some reason I am missing my sandpaper, but normally you would go through and sand both these. I have two because they make 2 different sounds. And then we use what's called a striker. Now, I've got all kinds of strikers, and I think I just went happy one day and bought some. So I have wood, I've got glass, I've got graphite, carbon, I guess, and then I've got another plastic and another type of plastic, but the bell makes it sing. So this is probably my least used style of call. Not that I am against it, it's just that normally this is a close proximity call. If I'm calling for someone, like me and my dad are hunting together, I'll use this call if I'm not going to be taking the shot, but most of the time this is last resort for me. So you could take any of these, and the concept is just but it's not. I mean, I'm in the Outdoor Journeys clubhouse, so it's going to sound loud in here, but really it's not that loud. Again, this is my last resort. I am least experienced in this, but you know, it's kind of like fishing. I don't do a lot of jerkbait fishing, but I have a couple in the tackle box because you don't want to be on that water and not have one. So, but this is what I use for these. Again, sandpaper helps. You need to score this up. The rougher this is, so about a 500 to 800 grit sandpaper. Go lightly across it. Basically, if you can see, it gets all those pieces there off, and that's what works there. So the next thing is it's a mouth call. Now, I haven't even opened these since last year, so let's see. If you can see, there's different ones. Let's see if you can see this. So if you can see, they're cut in different directions, and those different cuts mean they make different noises or different raspiness. But if you can see, they have a dot. The dot goes to your tongue, so it'll go in just like this. And it's just like an elk call, you would rub your tongue up against here. So. And on close proximity, this is more of what I use. When they get close, now my dad hunts with me all the time here. He doesn't use a box call. He doesn't use slate calls. He only uses mouth calls, and that works. I just like the box call mainly because I think it goes a little bit further than a mouth call, but nevertheless, it's whatever works for you. It's just like some people are jig fishermen, some people are spinnerbait, some people are crankbait. It's all about what you have confidence in. And if you notice, that one's a little more raspy, and that's the one that's cut up a little bit more. So, mouth calls, double dead, and these probably last. The case came separate. These probably last 4 years before I have to replace them. And the diaphragms just honestly get dried out, crack, and once they crack, they don't make any noise anymore. One of the last things that I use is a gun mount. So if you can see here, this actually goes right around my leg, snaps on right above the knee. I put this on. I just have this looped around one of the loops of the belt or with the vest whenever I'm not using it. But again, go around the knee. Fat part faces me, the skinny part faces out. And what I do is I use my knee as a tripod. So I can put the gun right here in here, and that's my tripod to use to be able to shoot. So, I mean, does it always work? No, but this definitely helps. You kind of know they're coming to the decoys. So let me show you the decoys next. So I carry the decoys in one of these Dollar Tree Ziploc, large Ziploc bags. So for the decoys, there are hundreds, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different decoys. And what I've liked best is these, because after I get the decoys out, I roll this up, put it back. Sorry, I forgot what I'm looking at. Put them in the back compartment, rolled up, and that's what I would use. And I don't use every decoy every time. Now, the hen decoy, which we'll pull this out, and you know what? I'll blow this one up just to, you know what? I'll blow the other one up just to show you. But they've got a realistic hard head on them, and the rest of it just inflates. So I'll blow the other one up to show you. It's called a feeding hen. There is a plastic piece that goes inside here that you would put your stake into the ground, and then it would hang on here and be able to swing in the wind and move in the wind across these. So, but this kit came with 3. It was a regular hen. I'll show you the feeding hen, and then it came with a non-strutting tom. The tom I don't use too much, only because I want the toms to come into the 2 hens. That's just me. Again, depending on where you hunt and what's there, it very much can mean that you that the tom would be the best for you in that situation, especially if you have a lot of toms in the area. So I'll blow this one up. It's just like a pool. Pull. Okay, and the stake, there's a hole in the bottom, there's a stake, it goes all the way up, and there's a hard piece at the top that it sticks to. And so this would stick then into the ground, but the feeding one has this little piece here that clamps, that just kind of slides in, and now it has a live action head moving around. I hope you guys can see that. So, and that, I do have some pictures of when we were turkey hunting. I had these set up, and I'll show you those right now. But again, you can see how quickly that was to blow up, and then to deflate them. I just put them under my shoulder, under my arm, push the thing down, and get all the air out. And then I roll it up. Just have to roll it up the other way so the thing is on the outside so I can get more of the air out. Just like so. And these come apart. Now I've had to get some replacement of these because I did break one of them going into hard surface, but any Amazon, whatever, can get these. They get the packet too. So put all these back in here. And then I just seal it up. So now let's talk about ammunition and firearms. Now I didn't bring my gun out. It's still in the safe. Just I know YouTube's weird about that kind of stuff. So what I use is a Remington Super Mag, 870 Super Mag pump. It was one of the first guns I bought. I wanted the Super Mag. Super Mag shoots 3.5 inch shells. Here's one of the shells here. So a 3.5 inch shell, and this one is number 6s. I've seen some of these shells that have like 4s and 6s and things of that nature. They're harder to find. I actually prefer that because those 6s kind of fill in, but at the ranges I'm shooting, anywhere up to probably 40-50 yards with the 3.5 inch. Now, does that mean you have to go buy a new shotgun if you don't shoot 3.5 inch shells? By all means, no, it does not. The first couple of turkey I shot, I could only shoot 2 3/4 inch shells, you know, so I would shoot number 4s at that point because they're a little heavier. There's not enough powder behind them, and it seems to go a little bit further with the knockdown power. But again, any shotgun will work. I do know some people that use like a 22 long rifle or a 223. Matter of fact, one of the people that we hunt with from time to time, they actually have a 12 gauge, 223 over a 12 gauge single shot on both sides. So that one's actually made for turkey hunting. But again, any shotgun will work. I mean, even if you had number 4 rabbit shot 2 3/4 into just a standard $100 single shot, $120 shotgun, that will work. You know, you would have to get them to call in closer. I would say you're distance is probably 30 yards. I do know people that bow hunt for turkey. I'm never have. Not quite interested into that. I don't know. I know it's a challenge, but I don't know. I just kind of got in and out of bow hunting. So, but I will tell you that but again, it's possible, and there's plenty of stuff on YouTube about that. So let's fill up the vest, and we'll close this video out, and hopefully this got you well on your way to getting ready for turkey season, or at least jotted your mind that it's on its way. So let me get the vest back out and we'll load it up. All right, so here we are with the vest. So I'm going to start at the top section and work my way down. So we had the box call, right? So I put the box call right in here. Fits nice, doesn't make any noise. So then I have usually one of these. If you've seen me wear a hat, I have a hat that has a little black pocket here, and that's where these mouth calls, I can slide one in, and that way I can just pull it out and put it in my mouth if I know there's one coming. Here, as it's calling back as it's coming in. So both of these pieces are not used as often, so I have them in this pocket over here. I can get to them, but it's not going to be stealthy. Now we have the slate calls. I prefer the black slate call over the green one because of how it sounds. Again, you have a whole aisle of nothing but these at most sporting goods stores, so whatever works for you, and whatever works for the area. So the black one I usually put closer to me. The green one I put further away. Zip those up. Now we have all the strikers. So I put the strikers in this compartment down here. I just lay them in. No big deal. Okay. Now my ammunition. Again, they have the elastic holders for the ammunition, and they don't have bottoms, so my 3.5-inch shells fit nicely right inside there. And now this is usually what I carry with me, and then I also have, because it's not a migratory game animal, so we don't have to have the plug in. So with 3.5s, I can put 3 shells in there. So I'll put 3 shells in the gun, and then I carry 4 with me. They usually come in a box of 5. I have 2 boxes. So obviously I have a couple missing because I've used some. So again, I would wear this normally as soon as we go out in the field, but due to just storage, I clip it right here to the side. Works out well. Now, zip this piece up. Okay, let's flip this over and we'll put our decoys in. This does unzip, and you can remove this completely if you don't want it. It doesn't bother me being there, so I use it. So we fold this down as tight as we can get it, and it slides nice and neat right in the compartment here in the back. See that? Alright, so there we are. Let me unbuckle it, I'll put it on for you, and I'll model it. So let's see. Let's go with this. I have it all nice and open. Now when I bought this, it was a little loose on me, although I haven't seen the need to go buy another one yet on account of using it a couple weekends a year. But right there we are. So you can see I can get to everything: bullets, strikers, box call. There's my mouth calls and everything right over here. So I can get to everything that's needed. And then of course, everything I need in the back here. So I hope that was beneficial to you. Hope that, I even forgot to show you, there are inside pockets. I don't use them, but you could put things, strikers and whatnot on the inside. I don't use any of that stuff, but again, you could if you wanted to. All right, so I hope this was beneficial to you, and I hope that this was able to get your mindset ready. If you haven't ever hunted turkey before, get you well on your way. And if you have hunted turkey, hopefully it shows a little insight on some things you may not have thought about, or some different odd and end pieces, or if you're kind of like me, get you prepped up and get you excited for the turkey season. So remember, it's not about pulling the trigger. It's not about setting the hook. It's all about the journey it takes to get there. All right. See you next time.